Hello and welcome back to Being a Geek. If you find this video useful, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. In today's session, we are going to talk about lambda expressions in Java. So we'll start with what exactly is a lambda expression. So lambda expressions were introduced in Java 1.8 and arguably they are the best feature introduced in Java 1.8. Lambda expressions facilitate functional programming in Java. They give us a way to implement functional interfaces. By using lambda expression, we implement the functional interfaces. Lambda expressions are very useful when it comes to their use with collections. We can use them to filter, manipulate, and extract data from our collections. Lambda expressions are widely used with stream APIs as well. In lambda expressions, we give the definition of the function directly in our lambda expression. The syntax of our lambda expression is: first we have an argument list followed by an arrow followed by the body of a lambda expression. Argument list can be empty or it can have one or more parameters passed to it. Arrow links our argument list to the body of our lambda expression. Body displays or has all the logic for that particular lambda expression. Just like the body of function, we have body of lambda expression. This is an example code for a lambda expression. Here we have AL, which is a list of integers, and we want to print 1 when it's an odd number and 0 when it's an even number. For that, what we do is AL dot for each, which is a new kind of loop, and S. From this onwards, within the braces, we have our lambda expression. S arrow curly braces system.out.println S module 2 semicolon curly braces. This is the definition of our lambda expression. S is the argument it receives. Individual element of the list is received by this parameter S, which is then passed on to the body of our lambda expression, which uses it. As we know that S module 2 would return us 1 if it is an odd number and 0 if it is an even number, and we are using it inside our system.out.println, so it would print 1, 0 for odd and even respectively. Another way to implement it is when we want to print string even and string odd for even and odd values. In that case, what we can do is the value received by S. As you can see here, I have introduced parentheses here around S, and they weren't present earlier. So in case of single parameter, they are optional. Now if I have S module 2 is equal to 0, that means it's an even number. I'm printing even, otherwise I'm printing odd, and that's the body of our lambda expression, starting from this brace to this brace. So this example is just to let you know that our lambda expression can have more than one rows. Next, that brings us to functional interface. As I earlier told you that lambda expressions are used to implement functional interface. So that brings us to our question, which is what exactly is a functional interface? A functional interface is an interface that contains only one abstract method. Means they can accept only one functionality. From Java 8 onwards, lambda expressions are used to implement the functional interfaces. There are many functional interfaces such as runnable, action listener, comparable, etc. You can create your own custom functional interfaces as well. The only condition is that there can be only one abstract method. You can override a method, you can give a method definition inside your interface that would not be counted towards one abstract method because it has a definition. There is an annotation @ functional interface. You can use this annotation if you want to make sure that your interface remains functional interface. And at any time, if someone makes changes to the functional interface or introduces another abstract method, it would raise an error. This is an example code when we have a functional interface and how we can use that to implement our lambda expressions. So as here I have a multiplication interface in which I have int multiply, which takes two parameters, int a and int b, and returns their multiplied value. It has no logic in it. That's the intention we have. We want to multiply a and b and return it, but we haven't given any definition. We have one abstract method here. I could have used that at the rate functional interface here to make sure that this remains functional interface forever. Now in this class, public class lambda expression functional interface, I have public static void main, inside which I am creating an object of my interface multiplication mul1, and after that I am passing it my lambda expression a comma b arrow a into b. It means it will take two parameters and multiply both the parameters and return it. We don't have any return statement here, but it returns the multiplication of a and b. This is an implementation without a return statement. As we can see, the multiply must return integer. Now here I have used this lambda expression to create the object. Now how I am going to use this? System.out.println mul1 dot multiply. Multiply is the function which I have declared inside my functional interface. It is an abstract function, and I'm passing it two parameters 10 and 20. It would give me the multiplication of 10 and 20. So it would use this lambda expression implementation when I make call to multiply. This is the second type of implementation which uses return statement. The logic is same. We are taking two arguments in our lambda expression. We have placed it inside a curly braces, and inside the curly braces we are returning a into b. Here I am using that object mul2, which I have created using my lambda expression, dot multiply, the function which I have described in my interface, and passing it 100 and 200. It would give me the product of 100 and 200. Those are the couple of ways by which we can use a functional interface and implement that in our lambda expression. Next, I'll share with you the real output of all these programs. I'll use Eclipse IDE, and I'm using Java 13. You can use any Java version above 8 to try this out yourself. This is the implementation of our first example, where we were printing 1 for odd and 0 for even. As you can see here, we have an AL, which is a list of integers. We added 1, 2, 3, 4 to it, and after that we have this definition of our lambda expression. I'll run it, run as a Java application. Here you can see it prints 1 for odd, 0 for even. And also I don't need to have this for a single parameter. There you go, I removed it. And now if I say run as a Java application, it still give me the same result. Now secondly, what I can have is this implementation, right? Here I'm printing even string for even number and odd string for odd number, and I'm taking s parameter, putting it inside our parentheses, and then I'll run it, run as a Java application. It's printing odd even. I'm trying to pick the simplest examples to make sure that you understand the concept really well. Here I have created an interface which is multiplication, in which I have only single abstract method, which is multiply. After that, in my class I have public static void main, and I have two implementations of this method. First one is implementation without return, and second one is implementation with return. The same code which I showed you earlier, a comma b arrow a into b, and it would return a into b. Second way is put it inside a pair of curly braces and return a into b. And I have passed different values both the times. Run as a Java application, and here you can see first one returned me 10 into 20, which is 200, and second one returned me 200 into 100, which is 20,000. sorry about that. So I am creating an object of interface and passing it my lambda expression. This expression ideally defines the body of my abstract method inside my functional interface. That's the basic implementation. Thank you.